when I got into this movie prop collecting, and I guess I've been nervous to talk about it. I did attempt to Facebook message Adam Green, and he never got back to me.
If you ever want to talk, he does respond to Twitter.
Does he?
Yeah. I told him that a long time ago, before a lot of horror stuff was coming out on Blu-ray, right after Hatchet was released on DVD, that I would give him my left testicle for Hatchet on DVD on Blu-ray.
Oh.
And he said, "Awesome, thank you. Don't worry, it's coming."
Awesome. Well, you just owe him a testicle.
Yeah, I've never met him, so I guess I'll mention that to him.
You just take your testicle and give it to him.
You know, like, do you want this now? And just get a big pair of scissors or something.
Get rid of the little one.
Well, one of them I think does more of a job than the other one, so I'll have to research that.
Yeah. Just ask Dr. Floydstein which one. So anyways, I attempted to message him on Facebook. Or, it was MySpace. That's how long ago it was.
That's why he never got it.
I also messaged John Beekler on Facebook about this whole deal. But anyways, I had no idea that, how to buy movie props or whatever. But when I saw Hatchet, like many people out there, except for our friends at Zombies Don't Podcast and the guys at Dead Pit, I fell in love with it. I'm a huge slasher fan. I got it. I like the fact that it's a huge tribute to the slasher genre. I like Victor Crowley. The fact that it was Kane Hodder. All this stuff made me want to get to it. And so I did a whole lot of searching online to actually try and find ways to buy movie props. I decided I'm going to look at buying some movie props. Maybe just a little thing, maybe something, some little item. Because I have a lot of DVDs, and at that time I had probably 2,000 DVDs or so. And I thought it's time to get into something else. Well, I just happened to be on eBay, and all of a sudden, a prop from Hatchet pops up on there. And I freaked out and saved the auction, And at the same time, whatever in my mind that was working correctly said, I better save that seller's name. So I did. And I went back on later that day, and it was off. It was gone. It wasn't on eBay anymore. And I thought, maybe someone bought it. Maybe someone used buy it now. But I went ahead, and I waited about a week, and then I emailed that seller. And I said, hey, do you have any of these Hatchet props left? I mean, I'm interested. I love the movie. And he just sent me an email, and I still have all of these emails. He sent me an email that just said, I have everything, ! All in caps, and a phone number. So I was at work that day, and I freaked out. I called him and talked to him, and he was the most pushy guy I've ever met, and I got a real bad gut feeling from talking to him. And it was years later I found out it was correct, but I wanted some Hatchet props. I love this movie, and I wanted to be part of it, Like, there's a guy in Germany that has a Friday the 13th museum, basically. He has all the masks.
Yeah.
I want to be that guy for Hatchet. And so I called him, and I started talking to him, and he listed off what he had to me, and we're talking, like, significant props. Like, prosthetic body. A Hatchet, prosthetic bodies, teeth,
kills,
all kinds of pieces of Victor Crowley's wardrobe, and the story that he gives me, and what the fuck do I know about prop collecting? I'm just a dude, and I told him this, and he realized right off the bat. I said, he said, look, I'm getting this stuff from John Beekler. He said Beekler knows about it. He's like, but Adam Green asked us to take it down off of eBay. He said Adam's not pissed. He said, but Adam Green wants us to take it down off of eBay until the movie's been out for a year, because he doesn't want people to know how the effects were done. And I thought, well, there's a special feature on the DVD that shows you, but hey, whatever. And so I ended up making a deal with this guy. He said, if I sell it to you, he says, he was real smart the way he did it. He said, Adam doesn't want you to post any pictures. He says, I don't want people knowing where it went. He said, but if you buy it from me and then email me after a year, I'll get you a signed certificate of authenticity from John Beekler. And I was like, awesome. But I mean, the stuff that I have, it's undeniably real Hatchet props. I mean, yeah. So I ended up talking to this dude, and he said, you send me $1,000 a month for 5 months, and I'll break this up into 5 lots for you, and I'll send you something every month, and you'll get it, and at the very end, you'll get this hatchet. And and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And as soon as I hung up, I was like, well, shit, I have $1,000 in my bank account, and that's it, and that's what I make every month. That time, I don't make much more now, but so I was like, how the fuck am I gonna pay for this stuff? But I started. Scariest thing I ever did. I PayPal'd the dude $1,000. I still have all the receipts. Still have the dude's email address. Still have his phone number.
Shortly after that, I get a phone call at work. Oh my god! $5,000 Hatchet! Call me back!
I was freaking out because I knew I didn't have the money to pay for it. I didn't know that if I sent this guy this $1,000, if he was going to send me anything because it felt so shady. But my desire to be part of it overrode that, and told my fiance at the time, who said, well, we're supposed to be planning a wedding. And I said, about that. I said, I can't do anything for the next 5 months. And she wasn't happy about that at all.
She lived with it for a little bit.
And she lived with it for about 4 months. And anyways, I paid my $1,000 and I got my very first prop, and it was awesome.
It was awesome.
And it was more than one prop. It was one big prop and like 2 or 3 little props, and I was like, this is amazing. But every month this guy would call me and he would say, hey man, I got the raccoon from Hatchet. Give me another $500, man. I'll throw that in. I'll throw Robert Englund's wardrobe. And I was like, look, man, I'm struggling to pay you every month. I was selling stuff to you.
Yeah, but I kind of got a little gain out of that.
I sold my beautiful ruby red Rickenbacker guitar. I sold everything that I had to
sold your critters.
I sold my critters props. I sold my entire pop punk vinyl collection to Alex.
Yeah.
Hot Topic. And this guy kept calling me, and he kept trying to add on to the deal. Hey, man, just 2 more payments of $1,000, and I'll give you this. And I was just like, look, man, I just want my Hatchet, really. That's really all I want. I want this other stuff, but... So every month, it was like high-pressure sales. And sometimes he would email me and say, look, dude, I need this money early. Can you swing it? And it was very threatening. I got down to the last one, the final Hatchet. And at 4 months, my girlfriend said... we have to get married and have kids or we're through, and I don't like this Hatchet deal, and you need to stop. And so I had a breakup, and I didn't know how I was going to make my last payment, but she said to me, I wish you would have been a bigger asshole and not just bought horror props. She gave me my ring back. And I was like, oh my God, my relationship's over. Oh my God, I have my next Hatchet payment. I know that's terrible. But I got rid of the ring, got $800 out of it, $3,000 ring, and I made my Hatchet payment. And so I'm waiting 2 weeks for this Hatchet to show up. And finally, a giant box shows up at my house. And I'm like, this is real heavy. What is this? And I open it up, and it's the hedge limb trimmer from Friday the 13th, Part 7. The big, curvy sickle thing, autographed by John Beekler with a certificate of authenticity. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I started to get pissed because I know this guy's shady, And so I call him up, and he lives in Hollywood, California. I call him at 8 o'clock. Apparently it's 5 o'clock there. And he's like, look, man, I sent you the wrong prop on accident. I need you to take it to FedEx and ship it out and send it to this dude. And I was like, look, man, I want to know that my thing's in the mail. I want to see a tracking number. And he's like, I'm not sending you anything until you send it out. And it was like a standoff. But what can I do? I can keep this Jason prop, which was awesome. I held it in my hand, but I love Hatchet. I'd rather have Hatchet than a Jason prop. And
right now, Goob is shitting his pants.
I know, yeah. This guy had Jason's mother's head as well for sale online, $10,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And so I ended up shipping it out, and I called him again at 5 o'clock in the morning when I shipped it out, and I said, look, man, I need you to give them your information. And he's like, you woke me up. And he starts yelling at me, and I'm like, look, man, you sent me the wrong prop. Are you trying to screw me over? What's the deal? And he's like, listen, I'm sorry. Just a hard day for me. And like, he was an asshole. And so I ship it out, and finally my Hatchet shows up. And it was awesome. It was like the most triumphant I'd ever felt. And I had my Hatchet, and I was happy. And I had all my props. So fast forward like 2 years, and I find another Hatchet online from a really cool prop dealer and I can't remember his name. I think it's called the horrormuseum.com. A really nice guy who let me make $200 payments for my prop and had a certificate of authenticity signed by Kane, all this stuff. So in that time, I had bought my hatchet, a second hatchet, which was a really actual deal, and I took it to Kane Hodder and had him sign it, and he said, "Yeah, this is real," and it was the one that he signed. But this other one, I just promised the guy. I promised Adam Green in a way. I promised to this guy who said it was Adam's wishes that I don't show it off to anyone. So I call him in a year, and I'm like, "Hey man, it's been a year to the date. I really appreciate if you could get me that certificate of authenticity from John Beekler." And he's like, "I'll have to talk to Beekler and see what he says." And it's a totally different story than what he told me, So then he never contacts me back. So I email him again, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" He says, "Beekler doesn't want to do it." So I was bummed. But it's undeniably Hatchet props. But then I find out that John Beekler is going to be at a horror convention, I think Cinema Wasteland.
I think it was. We couldn't go.
We couldn't go. So I sent my hatchet. I have both hatchets in a case now. I sent it up there with my friend who was supposed to go and get it signed for me. And he called me from the convention. He freaked out, and he said, "Hey, man, I went to have John Beekler sign it." And I asked him if it was real. And Beekler said, "Yeah, it's real because it was stolen from my shop." And I was like, "Dude, just give Beekler the phone. I want to talk to him. Like, tell him he can have it back. I don't know what to do. So he goes to give Beekler the phone, and Beekler says, "No, just Facebook message me." He says, "I'm not worried about it. Just Facebook message me." So I Facebook messaged him this huge thing, and I said, "Listen, man, if you want it back," I said, "I love this movie. Like, it sucks, but I don't know what else to do. Tell me what to do with this prop. And he just never messaged me back. But I have this hatchet that I now know this dude got from some real shady means in my place, and the only thing that baffles me is maybe he stole the hatchet, but the amount of shit that he was selling online were all John Beekler props. And unless he was like a very crafty thief, I don't know how it happened.
Maybe he sold he was a friend of Beekler's, and then maybe he just skimming off the top. He was just taking a few props, extra things.
I'm guessing, but I've always if Adam Green does a convention, I will take this prop to him and tell him the story and whatever. I don't know. I know Beekler is obviously not too interested in it because it was there and he
passed on it.
He passed on it, but if anyone, I still have the guy's number, and I'm kind of pissed that he got me involved in this. And I thought about calling him and just being like, "Look, motherfucker, Beekler knows, and he's coming for you," or something. But I'm just happy that I have a piece of it, of Hatchet, and at least wasn't sold to someone that doesn't care about the film. But really was the scariest 5 months of my entire life because I didn't think I was going to get a Hatchet. I lost the relationship, but I have to say, it was worth it.
That's terrible.
It was. I mean, maybe not in the brain that I'm using now. It wouldn't be worth it. No, it really would. It was in the long run. It was worth it.